What's the motherfucking deal? I appreciate it. I see you. Part of a very special club there. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas. Some of y'all thinking Texans. I know what y'all want to talk. We talk about that shit in a little. Texas. Homer Network. So we're talking all sports, but only Houston. We're going to get into the Rockets pregame. For you guys, again, I apologize for the tardiness. Had a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get some things next. The fucking shit was tripping. But I have a special guest joining me today, man. It's been a while, been a long time. Joined us a couple of times last year when we chopped it up, talking pre-games, talking Rockets. We have one Mr. White Persuasion joining us tonight. What happened to the little name? How you doing this evening, Mr. Persuasion?
Doing well. San Antonio. So wish I could be in Houston, but it's all good.
Already. So you haven't been getting attacked by any rabid Spurs fans or big girls with churros, have you?
No, I've been able to talk a big shit, though, whenever Kawhi left, so that was nice.
Okay. Well, that's always good. So, again, like I say, if y'all are not familiar, again, we talking all sports, only Houston. Like I say, since we're running behind schedule a little bit, we'll kind of just get in it to win it tonight. The Rockets are 1-4, taking on the 4-2 Portland Trailblazers. And another game, and I told y'all a few games back, I think the last pregame we did was the Utah Jazz, and I said that it was a scary game because, Donovan Mitchell is a guy who could go off at any time, and unfortunately he did. And we saw what happened with the outcome of that. Ended up losing James Harden for a few games. He's going to be out tonight. I know everybody's favorite Rockets OT is not available. Brandon Knight still in the injury situation, and Marquise Chris still unavailable. Just looking at the Rockets right now, before we kind of just look into the matchup, man, a lot of people are panicking. A lot of people are blaming Carmelo, even though Carmelo's had a couple of good games. The last few games he's been inserted in the starting lineup. Injuries and a lot of other things going on, man. What do you feel like the problem is currently with the Houston Rockets?
There's definitely some defense problems going on. I'm not sure if it has to do with Ariza and Lukamba Mute, because everyone likes to talk about them. But it might be more so, was it Budenholzer, is his name? The defensive coach who randomly retired.
Bizdelic?
Bizdelic. I don't know. I'm thinking about some other guy. But, yeah, I'm not sure if it's him. But it's definitely defense is the biggest problem for us right now.
Okay. I can definitely agree with that. And then again, like I said, I don't think it was the Mute or the Ariza situation. It's just funny, again, like, you always talk about when people leave Houston, it's such a big deal. And as a matter of fact, when we talk about the next thing coming up in the next stream, people talking about people who come to Houston, then it's no longer a big deal, but we'll get into that later. But, I don't think that's an issue as so much because, again, you get Ennis, and Ennis, I think, I'm not sure if Ennis is back. I think he's still injured for a couple of more games. I'm not sure if he's in. I know he had a few games he was going to be out.
Yeah, I think he's on the same, rotation as Harden, evaluation-wise.
Okay. And so, again, Ennis is the guy you brought in for that defense, and then Harden is your MVP, and he has been available for a couple of games. I honestly don't see the need to panic. I feel like this situation is going to be one where the Rockets are going to take a little bit of time to mesh. It's going to take, I won't say mid-season form. I think that they'll get it together. I think you need just a few games. I think once they get 10 or 15 games under their belt as a full healthy unit, that we should start to see a little bit more of the resemblance of the Rockets from last year. But just kind of looking at what we got, with CP3 coming back, then you got to think about he was out those 2 games with his situation, the little scuffle, and even though I don't think none of that was his fault, but it is what it is. And we were talking about, what the Rockets could do, though, to try to bolster. And the Rockets are trying to make a move. They offered Minnesota 4 first-round picks for 1 Jimmy Butler. Now, the rumors are that Minnesota says that Gordon has to be included he's a mandatory to be a part of that for them to be able to acquire Jimmy Butler. Do you think, what do you feel about that? Do you think that 4 first-rounders are adequate? Do you feel like Gordon is worth risking? And if you would add Gordon to that conversation, do you take away some of those picks? What are your thoughts on that situation?
Well, from what I've seen, the discussions were it's 4 first-rounders for Marquise Chris and Brandon Knight included, and then it'd probably be, for Eric Gordon, it would probably be 2 to 3 first-rounders. Honestly, either way, I think it's a good trade for us because, if we lose Eric Gordon, he's probably not doing so well right now because he knows he could easily be traded at any moment. But I do think that the Eric Gordon trade is probably the best way to get it done. And even if that takes 3 first-rounders, I do think it's worth it because if you're looking right now at how the Timberwolves are playing, Jimmy Butler's still the best player. He scored like 33 last night, I think, and sealed the game for them. So he's able to be the best player on that team, and he'd probably come here be the second or third best player. So I think making that move, even if it takes 3 first-round picks in Eric Gordon, we have to we have to.
And I would agree with that because I think what you're getting with Jimmy Butler is, one, you're getting that same level, well, not same, actually better scoring because he averages more than Gordon. And then you're getting supremely better defense, in my opinion. You got a guy like Butler who goes hard on both ends of the floor, and then with having some guys who may be more talented or guys who can score or take over the game also, not as much pressure is on him to be the man night in and night out. And I think you have 2 or 3 guys at any time who could take over. And again, if you're looking around the league and at what some of these other teams are doing, or well, with Golden State particularly, demolishing some people, but you're going to kind of need that kind of asset because Gordon can be sketchy. We've seen Gordon have nights on and then go a couple of games off in the playoffs, and we've seen that in multiple years. I think a guy like Butler is going to be a bit more consistent. So I would definitely be willing to give him the 3 and a Gordon. I was kind of hesitant on it at first. I definitely wouldn't say 4. But again, you got to think about the Rockets. What do the Rockets really do? All they do is, leverage assets into, players or whatever it is. So they're not really going to be hurting as long as Morey's the GM for picks or really be tripping on losing picks like that. But taking a look over at the team that we'll be facing tonight in the Trailblazers. Now, even though it was some years ago and we dominated the Trailblazers last year, I still have a salty taste for that guy, Lillard. Because if you think about, I want to say a few years back, maybe about 3 years back, I can't believe, when he hit that game winner and took us out of the playoffs. I'll never forget that. I will always hate Damian Lillard for that. But right now, they're looking like they're playing well. He was the leading scorer till Steph had his game the other night. How are you feeling about a guy like Dame Lillard this year? He feels like he should be in the MVP conversation. He feels like he gets slighted year in and year out. But then we saw what happened to them in the playoffs last year also. What are your thoughts on a guy like Damian Lillard?
Yeah, I don't know if he's for real. He's got a good game, and he can put up 40 any given night. But as far as the MVP, I'm not sure, because does he make the whole team better, or is he just, the best player on the team?
And that's a very good question. You just never know. Damn, mouse trip, sorry about it. And so that's what I think. I think a guy like that I won't call him Iverson-esque, but he's one of those guys, that he can definitely put the numbers up for you. He can definitely get you the points, but then, you're more concerned about how does he improve the team overall, He averages about 6 assists a game, which is not bad, but it's not top tier, and he's averaging about 30 points a game, so far this season, and again, which is not bad. But then you got guys like C.J. McCollum, who's also a good piece. Evan Turner, I thought I had bigger hopes for him when he first entered the league, and it's been a few years now. I think he just kind of is what he is. But he's getting
because he got one of those monster contracts with the cap spike, so he's got a pretty bad contract.
Yeah, definitely I wouldn't pay for that. So they got about 6 guys right now averaging double figures, which is always good. The more guys you got, that means that people are eating. Everybody's kind of happy, I guess you could say. And then you got Nurkic, who's a very interesting piece. But again, I'm concerned about this game. Again, with everything that's going on with the Rockets and just being honest about it, I'm not looking forward to it. Again, the Trailblazers have had a salty taste in their mouths for us for a while too. The whole Carmelo situation, they were swearing up and down. They were going to get Carmelo to come to Portland and just
Brandon Roy.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh god, that's some throwback shit. Make my knees hurt thinking about it. And like I say, it's just a situation where I think it's 2 teams that don't care much for each other. But right now, I'm feeling like without the Rockets being completely healthy, without having all their major pieces and even some of those necessary complementary pieces, I'm going to be honest, I'm just not confident in this game. Just kind of looking at it, it's just they're kind of they have a 1-game win streak, but they're 4-2, so they've been winning a few games. I just don't know if I can call this one a Rockets win. What do you see that the Rockets can do against a team like this, though, to try to secure a victory tonight?
I know I'm not super confident about the team right now as a whole, but I do think that well, I haven't really been paying attention to the Trailblazers this much year with like their defense. I guess it depends on how their defense plays and how our defense plays, because we had some good moments in the last game, but I think overall it's because the other team was able to out. I don't know. Just like they had more offense coming in, so I think for us it kind of depends on like Gordon and Carmelo both at the same time getting some points in instead of just one or the other.
And so looking at that situation, and a lot of people were saying, first it was a big deal when Carmelo came to Rockets that, hey, he'd be coming off the bench. Then, once he got here, people said, oh, well, he needs to start now. I guess, it is what it is. But when James Harden comes back and you see some of these other pieces get back, do you see Carmelo staying in the starting lineup, or do you feel like it's just a situation where, we have a lot of injuries and right now it's best for what we have going on that Carmelo is a starter for the Rockets right now?
I definitely think he'll still be coming off the bench because, I mean, we if defense is our main problem, then we got to have the lineup with Ennis and PJ Tucker in there, definitely.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I can say that's your best defensive situation. Like I say, it's just I'm really trying my best to get excited about it. But I'm just gonna be honest, man. I'm not seeing it. But here's the deal. And I want to get some of these going before, again, it's going to be a shortened stream on the Rockets because, again, like I said, it's my fault. I got a little bit late. I want to get some of the chats. I want to get some mark my words going and make sure that we get that happening. So, again, I know nobody's paying attention to the Rockets right now because the Texans have finally started making some moves. But, hey, before the Texans made that damn trade, the Rockets were the more aggressive team and the Astros were the more aggressive team. Now y'all back on that Texas bandwagon. But let's get some mark my motherfucking words, man. I want to know what you guys think are going to happen. And go ahead and throw your predictions in with that, like I say, so that we'll just kind of get it all down together. And I got your ass, man. I definitely got you. You said the Rockets must beat the Warriors to get back on track. And that's that, man. Look, they got to get past some of these lower tier teams first. If they're not handling business with, like I say, like the guys like the Jazz, and they're a capable team. They started off to a bad start. The Pelicans, I mean, I'm very concerned, extremely concerned about the Rockets being in that conversation. Because right now I think they're 12th in the West, something like that, something off the wall like that. I mean, something crazy. When we're coming into this season expecting to be, the number 2 team. Really the number 1 team as far as the regular season, because that's what we did last year. We were able to capitalize and see a lot of success in that way. But right now it's sketchy. But again, I think we just got to kind of take our lumps. We got to take our bumps early on in this season. And then I think once we start kind of getting things flowing, once guys get healthy, I think that we can expect to see a much better improvement from this Rockets team, man. But right now, like I say, it's just going to be tough with no Harden. You see Chris Paul. It's a Chris Paul-led team. And it's funny when you look at this team because, again, with no Harden and you're looking on the floor, and all the changes that have been made in recent years, this doesn't look like any Rockets team of the last 5 years. You know what I mean? It looks awkward. Things just don't seem to be flowing smoothly. It's just the gameplay just doesn't look the same. And, again, so it's very concerning. And as good of a floor general as Chris Paul is, I mean, let's be honest. This is the Wild Wild West. You have to have that second guy. You have to have that third guy that's going to be able to contribute consistently. And I think without James Harden, you're lacking a lot. And I mean, you're seeing why he was the MVP. You're seeing why he was as dominant as he was, last year. And you can tell he's very frustrated on the bench. But I would say a slightly pleasant supplement. I'm going to learn how to speak this English real quick. A slightly pleasant surprise. As I've kind of liked what I've seen from MCW, Michael Carter Williams. I didn't have a lot of hope for him, and I know they got him on a cheap contract. And to me, he's been so-so, but again, like I didn't have much expectation for him. He's been a little bit better than what I've supplied. That's why you can't say nothing with y'all. Fuck with y'all in that damn chat. You can't make no mistakes. But, players fuck up. It is what it is. But again, I think that he's been a little bit of a highlight, and I'm not saying not a highlight, but he's been a little bit of a bright spot. I'm not talking about his skin tone, and so I'm okay with him. But again, it's just overall, again, when you trade so many pieces, when you change so many things up, it just takes time for all of that to mesh. But hopefully, like I say, things will get back around. I'm not worried that the Rockets won't make the playoffs or anything like that. I mean, it's not an issue of that sort. But I mean, what do you see the outcome being this game? I mean, what do you feel like is going to happen tonight in this Rockets Portland Trailblazers game?
Man, we need to see some Chris Paul that at least scores 24, because I don't know, he's been I don't know if it's submissive or like he's just not making shots or what, but like I think in the last game he didn't even put up, I don't think he put up like 15 points. It's, I don't know, he's just not been taking the shots that he should. Like, I think with Harden out, they should go to the mid-range game a little bit. They could use Melo in the mid-range, post up a little bit. Chris Paul definitely can shoot from the mid-range. Just try different stuff, I guess.
Just maybe change the game plan up a little, come with something that teams aren't expecting. Because you saw that, I think, teams are getting familiar with what the Rockets want to do. And I understand, the analytics. But sometimes you have to cater to players' skill set. Sometimes you have to cater to the talents that you have on the floor. And again, you got a couple of guys who are, some of the best in the league, some of the best that have ever done it in the mid-range game. And so again, like I said, I definitely agree with you. Utilizing CP3 in the mid-range, utilizing Carmelo in the mid-range, and you could tell Carmelo is still adjusting to the Rocket style of play, because you see him a lot of times he's not quite comfortable, in my opinion, with the catch and shoot. Excuse me. And you see him taking that jab step a lot. You see him wanting to, kind of dribble a little bit more than what the Rockets like to see. And so, again, like I say, it's just going to take time. It's going to take game experience for a lot of this stuff to happen. But here's the deal. If you were to make a prediction on tonight's game, if you're going to give me a score prediction, what do you got?
Well, I guess I feel obligated to say the Rockets win. So I'll cut it close. Let's say 106-104 Rockets.
Okay. Man, Wise, I agree with you on that one. I'm telling you, that's the problem. See, that's what it is. Wise, you might be onto something. The reason that the Rockets are not seeing success is because of that bullshit Capella got on his head. I don't know what the fuck gets him to do that fucking shit. That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't kosher. Look. He feeling that superstar status now. He doing all kind of weird shit. He got fully Americanized. Now he
got the Dennis Schroeder, and then Dennis Schroeder doesn't even have it anymore. He shaved off his hair.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, you gotta change the game, Capella. You might need to go back and get you some Just for Men or whatever the fuck you need to put in there to cover that shit up, because that shit ain't cool. That shit ain't gonna get you no ass. You just stick to what was working for you. So here's the deal. So you're saying 104, 106 is what you're calling it? Man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, man, and I'm gonna go against the grain, because normally, and all last season, I predicted Rockets wins, Rocket wins, Rocket wins, and so maybe if I have no problem being wrong about it, because if they end up winning, I'll take that. I'd rather win than me be always right about it. But I'm gonna go with the Trailblazers on this one. I feel like they have some vengeance that they want to seek out on the Rockets, kind of for the way they kind of did them last year, and they want to feel like they're a contested team. But the Rockets have said some Rockets players have said something, this year it feels different, because it feels like, especially with them getting that #1 record, with them being able to press Golden State the way they did, even though they didn't get the victory, that teams are coming after them a lot harder this year than they have in years past, because they know the Rockets can be the real deal. They're not playing like the real deal right now, but they can be the real deal. So I'm gonna go against the grain, man, and I'm gonna say that even though we are at home, this is a hard thing for me to say. I really don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Just
Rockets at home, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying. It's just because the thing is, when the Rockets are at home, it's almost like a neutral site, because fans don't show up. Fans ain't gonna go to the games, and that's horrible. But it is what it is. I'm gonna say, man. I'm gonna say this one's gonna be close. I agree to be close, but I'm gonna say 102-98. And fuck, I don't want to say what I'm finna say. 102-98. Rockets win. I ain't fucking going for Portland. I can't do that shit. Fuck Portland, man. I can't do it. Ain't no way I can do it. Like, I want to, but maybe against another team, I can't fucking do it, man. I cannot do it. I want to go against the Rockets, but fuck Portland. Fuck Damian Lillard. Fuck him and that fucking shot. You know what I mean? It's just.
I mean, both of those shots were in. those are Trailblazer home games, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So
yeah, we got some good luck going our way then.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I gotta go with the Rocks, man. I can't. And I'm gonna drop my mark my words. I see why I say mark my words that Melo's gonna drop 30. I'm gonna say. Let me try to find one, man. Damn.
Eric Gordon hits a shot.
Yeah, Eric Gordon. I'm gonna say. I won't say PJ. I don't want to say PJ Tucker's. I don't want to say he's going to be leading scorer. He's not going to be leading scorer. But I want to say he's going to be the big factor. But I'm gonna say mark my words, man. That CP3 goes off. He's gonna snap back, and I'm gonna say CP3 will have a triple double. He's gonna get aggressive. I think he's gonna come back. He's gonna think about Rondo's old lady trying to run up on his wife, and I'm gonna give him a triple double, man, because. It's going to take some extreme gameplay. Somebody's going to have to really step it up a notch from the Rockets tonight for us to really get back in this conversation. I mean, we can't go down. We can't go 1-5. I mean, we're already looking bad, and I definitely can't go with that one. Your thoughts, give me a mark my motherfucking words. What you got?
Mark my motherfucking words. Gerald Green drops 30.
Ooh, okay.
When in doubt, he'll show up.
Okay, yeah, Gerald Green. Now that's the only one who ain't afraid to shoot it. Say, JC, I'm disappointed you thought it was real when y'all was bad as Cowboys fans. You said, "Oh man, it ain't gonna never get that bad." You know, so you worry about them damn Lakers. That's what you worry about. Goddamn. Well, here's the deal. Like I said, man, we're gonna shorten this one up real quick because we are gonna get into the conversation. We will give a dedicated Texan stream to the situation, to everything that took place today, because I know that's what the people want to talk about. So before we get out of here, Mr. Persuasion, I want to thank you for joining me. And again, like I said, I apologize a little bit shorter than planned. But you got anything you want to say to the people? Anything you want to say to Sauce Nation? Like I say, I don't think that a lot of them have, seen you. I know a lot of them seen you, as far as in the chat. I think they've heard you, sometimes on the streams from last year. But anything you want to say to Sauce Nation before we get out of here?
Nothing really specific, but thanks for having me. I don't think I've ever been on the stream with like video or anything, so that's cool. People in the comments are like, who's this guy? But yeah, it's cool, and I'd love to be back. And yeah, let's go Rockets.
All right, that's a bet. We'll definitely, like I said, we'll definitely get you in for some more Rockets pre-games. And maybe when we ever do some post-games, definitely have you join us. Because like I say, you've been a proud supporter of Sauce Nation for quite some time, and I definitely appreciate your support. Shout out to the rest of Sauce Nation. Shout out to everybody in the stream. And again, like I say, we'll take about probably about a 10-minute break, get everything together, and then we will be back talking Texans and the whole thing that took place today. Got plenty to talk about, plenty to discuss. So with that being said, Sauce Nation, y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Hey, like you said, let's go Rockets, man. Let's get this win tonight. I mean, I know the odds are against us, but the odds were against us last year. The odds have been against the city every year in every sport. I mean, let's. I mean, this would be an easy one. Let's make this one happen tonight, Rockets. But with that being said, we chuck up the deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But most of all, y'all stay saucy, and we out.